Welcome to Crypto Campfire. They're here, Mitch and the Professor, featuring special guest Bunchu and Chamber from the REKT Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Campfire Podcast. This is the Professor.
And Mitch.
And today we're talking with Bunchu and Chamber from the REKT Podcast. But before we start talking to them, let's take a look at the crypto news from the Crypto Gent.
Thanks, Professor. Hello, Crypto Campfire listeners, and welcome to the cryptocurrency news in a flash with the Crypto Gent. Arizona to test marijuana-orientated stable coin. Top risers over the last 24 hours are Aurora, XMAX, Theta, and Japan Content. Remember to head over to Crypto Twitter and find out the Crypto Gent. I'm still giving away 500 BTT. That's the cryptocurrency news in a flash with the Crypto Gent. Enjoy the show. Don't get wrecked. Back to you, Professor.
Thanks a lot, Crypto Gent. So Mitch,
What's up?
what do you think about this week and our technical problems with our recording software?
Oh my Lord. Our technical problems have put me through the freaking roof, dude. I'm telling you what, it's as if we don't have enough pressure and stress in life, you know, to go through stupid shit from applications that you pay for just puts me out of my mind. I can't fathom. How do you charge for something that you have not perfected yet?
Like it doesn't work half the time, you know, but it's all right. We're on something new right now. This is our first episode recording with this software.
Yeah.
Feel like it's going to go good. I feel like it's a good day, you know?
Right.
We got some awesome guests on the show. It's going to be a good episode. You know,
if it turns out well, we'll promote the software next episode.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to this talk with these guys. You know, I've listened to their podcast and there's some pretty unique things on it and some great ideas. So I'm definitely interested in hearing more what they have to say. You know,
we kind of snagged one of their ideas up a little bit last time.
Right. So I'm looking forward to their recommendation for that, and we'll get to that here shortly. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. I've just been working so much on my real life job, so to speak, that I haven't had much time for my crypto, and I'm really having withdrawals here. So
what is real life anyway? I mean,
oh my goodness,
what's this other shit?
Right. It's just it's like the crypto is my real life, and everything else just gets in the way. Fuck it.
Exactly.
So that being said, let's get to these guys, huh?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
What's up? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the show. So, Bunchu, let's start with you, just because alphabetical order and all that.
Right. I mean, the Dewey Decimal System, right?
Dewey Decimal System is the spice of life. How did you get into crypto, first off? And what did you come from? Did you come from a tech background, or did you just kind of find your way into crypto by happenstance?
Well, when a man and a woman love each other, they create a Bunchu. And a Bunchu is a mix of a intellectual and a degenerate. And that's where I came from. So I always joke, I hear this story all the time, and I'm just one of many that got into crypto from a gambling perspective. So I first found Bitcoin from a sports book that wanted me to deposit with Bitcoin. And I said, sure. And then basically what would happen was I would either win a bet or I'd have some money on there and I'd cash it out into Bitcoin. And then I'd watch Bitcoin go up and I'd be like, I should probably learn some more about this. And that's when I originally downloaded Coinbase. So this was 2017, February, March 2017. And then once you go down the crypto rabbit hole and know what it's all about, you're like, okay, I can see myself here for the long haul. And I've been obsessed ever since. And then one day, magically came across Crypto Chamber and the podcast was born, and the rest is pretty much history.
Nice. History day by day then, right?
That's right.
Beautiful. So Chamber, what about you?
Well, I guess it would have been I think it was back in 2008 during the recession when everything was just, going chaotic. I was hanging up a picture in my washroom and I slipped and I hit my head, and I had this image kind of come into my head of a decentralized ledger. So I started jotting some ideas down, and, next thing you know, never mind. Scratch that. I said too much. No, actually, I got in. I got in, unfortunately. I was basically trying to combine Satoshi Nakamoto and Doc Brown into one legendary story, but I don't know if that actually worked or not. I got in, unfortunately, the end of 2017, right? Yeah, I
About
guess.
the same for me.
About the same time. I got in 18, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's probably better getting 18 than it was at the end of 17.
I would agree.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
I had a coworker approach me about Bitcoin and how he had started investing in, early, like in September, end of August, beginning of September of 2017. And he was just making money hand over fist. And he had this, this great connection for this thing called BitConnect. And it was just a money-making bonanza.
The only thing I can think of right now, is the BitConnect EDM remix. It was made by Dylan Locke. Have you seen that?
I have seen that.
Oh
Unfortunately, it haunts my nightmares.
It's my favorite.
All I can see right now is Carlos Matos rocketing into the sky.
But yeah, so I did get introduced to crypto and Bitcoin kind of via some shady ventures. And I didn't participate too much in those, but I did buy a lot of shit coins.
Actually, BitConnect?
No, never,
Okay.
never bought BitConnect. I did participate in a shittier one, a shittier BitConnect.
Initiative Q.
No, are you telling me? That's the new standard. Are you kidding me?
XRP.
Yeah, watch out, XRP. Here comes Initiative Q. But yeah, I just got wrecked like everybody else. Met Bunchu. We made a baby into a podcast and called it REKT based on our lives at that point.
Nice. Like it was destined to happen, right?
Well, pretty much. I always joke about like when people tweet things, like if you're not paying attention, you might miss it, right? So Chamber put out one tweet one day randomly about how he wanted to start a podcast called REKT Podcast and call it REKT and have it be about people's, REKT stories and all that. And I immediately responded to him. I'm like, let's do this. We had never talked really before,
ever.
Maybe seen each other in other people's comments and stuff and things like that. But I immediately messaged him, and literally, I would say within 3 days, we had our first episode out.
Yep, absolutely. I think it was exactly 3 days, and you're 100% right. It was. I think you had responded to the tweet within 30 minutes. It was within the 30-minute window of me tweeting something. And we laugh about it all the time. It's pretty crazy how step for step we are when we're doing the podcast. It's like we've known each other for since we were, in the third grade. It's pretty crazy. That's always kind of baffled me how quickly we got into step with each other as far as just kind of feeding off each other back and forth. Our sense of humors are exactly the same, and we just know exactly how to set each other up properly for some funny bits, and it's a good time.
So wait, just to be clear, you guys actually met on Twitter? That's where your first interaction with each other was? Because
we've never met in real life. Yeah. Yes, correct.
Oh my God, that's cool.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. We've never met either.
We actually live in different countries. Chamber is Canadian, and I live in Pennsylvania in the United States, and so we do the whole podcast remotely. Never have met in person. One day.
Yeah.
God, you guys sound like the professor and I. We both live in different countries. He's in Montana and I'm in Michigan. He might as well be in Canada. And so it's and we met almost the exact same way, on a project, but we've never met face to face. And the same as you two, we just click. It's crazy how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, and if, like I said, if it wasn't for me seeing that tweet at that one time, if I wasn't on Twitter an hour or so later, it could have been gone, and it just it's very serendipitous.
Yeah, it just goes to show nothing in life happens by happenstance.
That's right.
It really doesn't. Destiny is so powerful, and I think it plays an effect in so many of our lives, and it's just so many people are blind to it, I think, is what the
to
issue
think
is.
that REKT Podcast is destiny is a very
But it is, dude. It is. If you think about it, it really is. You know, your success, your whole crypto venture, you know, together really is just a solidification of that coming together out of happenstance. I mean, out of chance. You know, what are the chances of two guys that just totally click together, freaking meeting and never meeting face to face, and then just starting a podcast and being amazing at it? Right?
I think if we ever met in real life, I think we're basically like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger and twins.
We both look like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, except you're just a tall Danny DeVito.
Tall Danny DeVito.
You're a 6'4" Danny DeVito, and exactly. I'm actually Danny DeVito's size.
Nice.
It sounds like you guys need to come down to St. Louis on August 17th for the
Oh
meetup.
my God, that would be sick.
Oh, you guys are doing a meetup?
Yeah, there's a Bitcoin bin meetup in St. Louis, and so Mitch and I will be meeting for the first time. Y'all should come down.
That's cool. That's fun.
Wait, you haven't heard of that? You must not get out of Twitter much.
Jeez, what's going on?
We don't get out of Twitter at all. Chamber spends most of his life on Twitter.
Yeah. I like the allure of people not meeting me. I'm not a very personable person. I don't act well in public, so it's best for me not to
interact with humans.
That's for us when the camera's rolling. So it kind of goes both ways. There's a give and take involved in this, right?
Right.
Kind of funny. Like Chamber says all the time, he's like, I don't have many friends. I don't really get out much. But I would be hard pressed to find somebody who liked the spotlight less, or like the spotlight. Sorry, like the spotlight more than Chamber does.
It's true. I do love a good spotlight.
That's awesome.
I don't know. It is weird. It is weird.
The way it reflects off your head fits you.
Wow. that definitely helps.
Oh my God!
It is shiny. It is shiny today.
You guys are awesome.
This falls right into why I was gonna ask you why you feel like your wife needs to believe that you're Bruce Willis from Unbreakable, but it's just kind of straight up answered that question for me. So
that's amazing. Well, it's not just physically and visually. It's also the fact that I may be unbreakable. I start, if you're familiar with the movie, he starts taking an inventory of his life. Where I've survived some pretty big things. I've been to a ton of car accidents. I've been, I used to play a lot of sports and never really got seriously hurt. I said, I actually think, where she gets upset is where I'm genuine with I think I might be unbreakable. And it just, it upsets her to no end.
I think I might be God.
Yeah. It's basically that.
That's so really awesome. Thinking anymore, or is it just certainty at this point?
Well, he started his own church, so.
Oh, so yeah, there we go.
It's like 90% there, yeah.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on how the next tax season will be for crypto enthusiasts?
Oof.
That'd be rough.
I tweeted. I had a couple tweets yesterday morning about this because I just kept seeing article after article about the increased tax pressures, I guess, we're going to be facing next year, and how the IRS is sending out letters as warning to potential crypto holders, and how you guys saw the IRS PowerPoint, that awful slide deck they had.
No.
Did you guys see that?
No.
Oh my gosh. So apparently, I'll find it for you guys and tag it.
Cool.
But there was a slide deck that got leaked about the IRS and crypto and what they plan to do. And on one of the slide decks, it basically talked about how they're going to try to get these huge tech companies like Microsoft and Google and all this to give the IRS any information on downloaded apps that have to do with crypto, whether that be your wallet or Coinbase or anything like that, so that they can have, people, they can identify people that are using crypto, and then from that, potentially identify, large crypto holders that aren't paying taxes on it, and essentially throw the ban hammer on us. And so I don't know. It's going to be tough. Chamber doesn't have to worry because he's in Canada.
And I don't pay taxes.
Here's my thing on that, though. Okay, so you guys are familiar with currency, obviously, like worldwide currencies, right? If you exchange the Canadian dollar for the American dollar, do you pay a tax on that exchange?
I don't believe so. I think you pay a fee at the bank, but that's about it.
Right. And the reason being is because it's a currency transaction from one currency to another, right?
Right.
So when you're trading fiat for Bitcoin, are you not just trading the value of one to the other? You're just trading $1 for a Bitcoin or a part of a Bitcoin. So how can that transaction be taxable at that point when it's just
because they
converting
recognize an asset instead of a currency at this point?
Yeah, I think it's recognized as a bunch of different stuff depending on what agency's looking at it. Right?
Sure, but so like that being said, okay, so here's the deal: we pay taxes this coming year, right? We pay all these taxes based on it being an asset. And then in another 6 months, it's actually deemed to be a true currency, which we all know as crypto enthusiasts that it is indeed a currency because we use it to buy shit, right? You can't use a stock and you can't use what is that called? A speculative instrument to purchase stuff. Really, you can't.
It's a fair point. That's a fair point here.
So because you can use cryptocurrency to make a purchase, I think the only tax we should be liable for is the tax of that purchase transaction. The tax due to the American government or whatever government you're in for that transaction tax, just like a sales tax when you buy something with the American dollar. Because when you're transferring $1 for parts of a Bitcoin, that's all you're doing.
Amen.
So
give this guy a standing ovation.
But seriously, so
exactly
my thing is, it's like if we pay taxes now based on it being a speculative instrument, and in 6 months or a year from that point of us paying taxes, are they going to give us a fucking credit when they actually deem that this is a freaking currency? No. So my stance is, do we really want to fold to something that's not 100%? They're not 100% right. They don't even know really 100% of what it is they're looking at. So how can they cast a judgment on something that they're not 100% certain of?
That's a good point.
I think one of the other, I'm passionate about that. It frustrates the hell out of me. So
I think one of the most problematic other things that is a real problem for traders and I would say if somebody like Chamber existed in the US, which I'm sure there are many of them, is the like-kind exchange for altcoin trading, right? So basically the way the IRS sees it right now is that every trade you make, alt to Bitcoin or otherwise, is a taxable event also.
Sure.
So like-kind doesn't even count, right? So I think there needs to be new guidance on that too. Otherwise, you're going to end up with, you would end up with thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of transactions.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely nuts. When I was first looking into how I was going to do my crypto taxes this last year and started realizing that they were classifying it as a capital gains tax, and I was going to have to literally attach several pages of transactions. It was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? This is how we're handling this? Like, it just reminds you how slow government really is to catch up with things and actually get stuff in the works to match what's going on in the world.
Oh,
but like, what choice do you have?
Right?
What choice do you have? Pay the freaking penalty after in 5 years or 3 years 100%. when it actually comes down, because that penalty.
That's financial advice.
No, it's not. But I mean, think about it. The penalty is going to be based on a percentage. It's not going to be anywhere near a capital gains tax percentage.
This guy's, I think this guy's making a lot of sense right now.
Chamber, please visit me in prison.
I will.
Right? Because we're all going to jail. No, hell with it.
The IRS is knocking at my door right now. I hear them outside.
Right.
I mean, the IRS, I'm not worth coming after. Like, there's not enough.
And here's
like, they'd pay more money trying to get my taxes out of me than it would be.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So here's my last last glitch or my last segment of that statement is that if we indeed have to pay a tax, right? And the government says, you know, you got to pay taxes on this, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, what ever happened to your money's taxed when you earn it, right? Your money's taxed. So then you buy crypto with it and you don't choose to cash that crypto out. It stays in that investment. So where is your gain until you actually pull it out? If indeed it's not a currency, and if indeed you can't spend it like currency, why should you be taxed prior to a withdrawal of that money?
I would second that. I mean, aren't you only really supposed to be taxed on it after you sell it anyway?
Right. After you realize the gain, right? You don't realize the gain when it's still in the market.
Correct. But don't you, is that, okay, wait, this might be bad.
Oh, wait. I just want to put this out there to everybody. This is a total shit house conversation. There's no legal ramifications or reality to whatever we're talking about. It's just a bunch of guys shooting a shit. So take it for what it is.
Yeah, pay your taxes.
If you're the IRS,
you don't want to, but we didn't.
The IRS, please turn your radios down while I ask this non-informed question.
You have to tune out. You said so.
Wait, so isn't that how it is now, though? Like, don't I only have to pay after I sell it? And if I sell it before a year, it's short-term capital gains. If I sell it after a year, it's long-term.
Right.
No?
Yes. Unless you, it counts if you trade it for another crypto, though. That's the.
Right.
Yeah. If you trade, you go back to between Bitcoin and Ethereum, it still counts as
even though you're still not realizing a gain until you withdraw that money. So then for every loss that you incur, do you get then credit for that loss?
Yeah. You do.
You calculate.
Well, fuck, they're going to owe me a fortune.
Exactly.
You gotta work through the tiers though first. That's the hard part.
I know, right?
I did just see something in one of the articles I was reading yesterday that there is like a petition out or something for them to, or no, there's a bill out, I think, to change the like-kind like the like-kind part of that tax law, right? So it essentially would make crypto to crypto a like-kind. And I think it's like a bill that's out now. So that would be nice, but we'll see.
We'll see. Time will tell. There's a lot of hoops to get through to get those things passed.
You really brought in the tip-top crew here to talk about taxing. Cryptocurrency, by the way.
That's perfect.
Hey, if I could, I mean, we had a tax person on our show, and he was very extremely knowledgeable, and he's helped me out a bunch since then with other questions, like when me and Chamber had stuff that we were working on with our little REKT Media LLC. Jordan from Taxing Cryptocurrencies. So shout out to him. He was awesome.
Yeah, that guy's a straight up genius. If you want some real answers, that's the guy to ask.
Oh,
his
cool.
Twitter is @Taxing Crypto.
Awesome. We'll put a link to that in the description.
Yeah, check him out. He's a good dude and he knows his shit.
That's good to know. I mean, there's so few people that really have a clue what's going on for taxes with crypto right now. It's not even funny.
Dude, they're gonna make tons of money just because people
experts are gonna make crazy money because you're gonna have so many people that are already in crypto that already had a bunch of money and already pay somebody to do their taxes, and they're gonna have tons and tons and tons of stuff. It's gonna be a crazy bank. These guys are gonna make all sorts of money off of these rich guys that are in crypto that have no idea how to pay their taxes. So
right.
So what I didn't realize last year is that if you do realize a loss, you need to have your loss realized and crypto sold by December 31st in order to claim the loss on your taxes, which I did not realize at the time. So you do. Yeah, so you do actually have to sell it all before December 31st. And apparently you can only realize, I think this is what he was telling us, $3,000 a year you can realize those losses and write-offs. But then, yeah, right. But there's no limit on the upside.
Of course not.
Never.
Whatever. You know what? I'm moving. I'm out of here.
I said to my fiance yesterday, we're moving to Canada. We're buying the house next to Chamber.
Right?
I got a couple houses on my crescent that are up for sale. I'll put in a good word for you.
I could literally walk across the border. It's not a big deal.
Oh, really? You must be close to me because I'm pretty close to the Michigan border.
I'm real close to Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably only a couple hours from you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Chamber, how does it make you feel when your wife rips your eyebrows out?
After feeding you a PMS pie.
Oh man, you guys, I love your research here. There are few things in this world that give my wife pleasure more so than finding a rogue eyebrow hair.
Oh my God. That's almost as bad as a rogue nose hair. Fuck, stop, please.
Well, I keep my nose hair game pretty tight. So, but occasionally she will see a rogue eyebrow hair, and the look on her face.
It's excitement. It's like pure joy.
It is
right?
excitement.
I can see her face. I've never seen your wife, and I know what she looks like.
It's like a fat kid finding a crumb after the cake's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when I don't know if you guys have cats, but you know when a cat's about to pounce and their eyes just turn black?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like. It's like a great white shark about to eat a seal.
Oh God.
Don't try to stop it or it gets worse. You try to stop it, and just come out, and then you've got a full freshly manscaped set of eyebrows instead of
absolutely. I mean, my she keeps me looking as good as it's getting, put it that way.
Oh yeah.
But you also referenced PMS pie.
Yeah.
And for the record, that is also quite good. When she's when she's not feeling well, it's this how do I explain it? It's like a Nutella cheesecake with like a caramel sauce on the top.
Oh my God! Stop!
It's pretty good.
It almost sounds like the better than sex cake.
Yeah, she calls it PMS pie, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna get some good pie out of it, so I gotta keep my mouth shut.
Wait, we're talking about the pie that you eat, right? Well, wait, no, I can't even say that.
You never know.
Oh Lord.
A little warrant.
So moving on from that one. That opened up a door.
That's funny. My wife's gonna love this episode too.
She is.
Like, we're gonna talk. Yeah, we talked about how you love plucking my eyebrows. This is the best. This is the best podcast I've ever heard.
That's great.
My fiance is the pimple popper.
Oh yeah, my wife does that too.
My daughter. That's my daughter. Oh my God, you got a blackhead.
Excited about that as she does about the eyebrow hairs, man. That's that cat. Ready to pounce. The eyes, they just turn, they change, and smile. Get that little like, yeah, you don't want to see it. It's bad things that happen afterwards. I scream like a little bitch. It's okay.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? So Bunchu, you just moved to Pennsylvania, huh?
I did. I was living in upstate New York for a while and moved for a new job. So I am literally basically in Scranton. So I was actually just watching The Office in Scranton. So that's pretty meta.
That's pretty meta.
So if you ever need any beats or paper, I'm your guy. But I like Pennsylvania. It's mountainous and it's easy. It's cheap to live in. So
wait.
all.
So you said beats, like music?
Yeah, beats.
Okay, so I got to know real quick. You say beats. Can you do the Dunder Mifflin, the paper person?
If anybody can, it's gonna be Bunchu.
Dunder Mifflin, the people person's paper people.
Yeah, that one.
The people person's paper people.
Well. Yeah. Chamber knows me too well. It's like I'm a walking quote machine for things like this. The Office, Always Sunny, anything like that I could just quote for days.
Can you do you know the name of the fun run, the full name?
Oh my God, no. That would be too much. I don't know. You mean the Meredith one?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
the Run for the Cures.
Yeah.
It's about 25 words long.
Yeah,
it's pretty epic.
Oh man, it's like, let me see if it's like the Michael Scott's Dunder Mifflin Scranton Meredith Palmer Memorial. I don't know the rest.
Well, that's
something pro-am,
absolutely.
Fun run race for the cure. I'm missing something in there.
It's so close to that. I'm gonna pull it up on my end.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. It's
Do we have an official?
Got it coming. It's Michael Scott's Dunder Mifflin Scranton Meredith Palmer Memorial Celebrity Rabies Awareness Pro-Am Fun Run Race for the Cure.
So I missed the Celebrity Rabies.
That's right.
Celebrity Rabies Awareness. That's an important.
How the hell would you acronym that?
Oh my God. MSTM. Oh my God, it'd be impossible. Too many M's.
The alphabet race.
Holy cow. I can't believe I got that close.
That was
pretty close.
way closer than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, how does anybody remember celebrity rabies awareness?
That's probably the funniest part of it.
But how do you remember that?
Jeez. The people, persons, paper people, baby.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Best song
So,
ever.
did you ever find out, Bunchu, if you can get a DUI on a horse in Pennsylvania?
I love this.
Technically, it's not a motorized vehicle, but it's a mode of
Great question.
transportation, right?
You actually can get a DUI on a horse. I think in most states. So definitely Pennsylvania. And you know what you can get a DUI on? Also, those motorized scooters that are popping up in all of those in every city in America.
Motorized scooters.
Yeah, the Lime scooters and the Bird scooters. You ever heard of these?
No.
So essentially what it is, it's like you'll go to, where was I last when I saw them? Like Columbus, Ohio, and they're just, the streets are just littered with scooters, and you can just download the app, you stop, you connect, and you just like scan your card, and all of a sudden you're off to the races on these scooters.
Oh yeah,
and
like the bikes that you rent.
yeah, exactly. And except they're scooters. Yeah. And so they make you look like a fool, but they're fun as hell. And you can definitely get a DUI on them.
Jesus. Like you're going to kill somebody other than yourself.
And I think you can definitely, and I'm almost positive that you can get a DUI on a horse in Pennsylvania because there's so many Amish around here. So like there's a lot of horses around. So I like pass Amish people on horse and buggies on my way to work. And so I think you can definitely get one.
Nice. So don't try it or do and let us know. But I'm kind of interested.
Hashtag horse DUI.
Hashtag horse DUI. Hashtag DUI.
Yeah. Oh man. The thing with Pennsylvania is I feel like it longs to be another state, because I was driving through Pennsylvania, and just in a 3-hour drive, I passed Dallas, Pennsylvania. I passed Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Pennsylvania. And I'm just like, man, they really want to be somebody else. But like,
they're trying hard.
But like Indiana would be the last place I would also want to be. Yeah, or like, you know, if I were Pennsylvania, I wouldn't want to be Indiana.
It's funny you say that. I was literally just reading an article today about Gary, Indiana being one of the worst places in the world. Like, or in the U.S. or something like that. It was just like,
I've driven through Gary, Indiana many times because we used to live in like Chicago, and we would drive home to visit family. And it used to be like this hustling, bustling steel capital of the United States. And now it is just a rundown, decrepit shithole.
So I don't know anything about Gary, Indiana. But when I hear Gary, Indiana, all I can think of is that song, the old country song by Neil McCoy, The Shake. Remember that song? Yeah. A little bit of Gary, Indiana action in that song.
I think, isn't that where like the Jacksons are from too? Like Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5?
I have no idea.
They're from Gary, Indiana?
I'm pretty sure they are. I'm 80% sure. That's what we call a chamber fact. When I'm
chamber fact today. The Jacksons might be from Gary, Indiana.
More than likely from Gary, Indiana. We'll have to fact check
back
that
for
after
confirmation later.
I'm gonna look that up right now. Oh man,
that's great.
So Gary, Indiana. Who'd have thought?
Hold on. We have a fact here. I just said, are the Jacksons from? And it auto-populated Muncie, Indiana.
Oh, Muncie.
Muncie, Gary, same shit.
Are they? That's the question.
But aren't they? I don't know anything about Indiana. I've never been there, but I'm sure that Muncie is the same thing as Gary.
Oh wait, no, hold on. The Jackson 5 were an American popular music group from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, redemption.
Wow.
That's a chamber fact, folks. That's a chamber fact.
80% true, but 100% true.
Yeah, I can say things with 100% certainty with 80% accuracy. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
Yeah, I think we've just uncovered a new segment for the show, Chamber Facts.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
So speaking of the podcast and the show, you guys were on the Cigars and Crypto podcast recently.
Yes,
that was a blast. By them as well last week, and we had a really good time. I was just kind of curious what you thought about that experience.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Noir. I think he's got the best voice in crypto podcasting. I mean, it's not even close. When you got a shrill voice like mine, but it's nice to hear a docile, soothing tone of voice like Noir has. So, and he's really smart too. I was actually pretty impressed with his level of like cigar aficionado. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I literally had this cigar sitting here and I was like, oh, I'm going to ask him a question about it. He knew everything about it. I was like, holy shit.
I honestly, I thought Cigar and Cryptos was like kind of a cute name, like, and he was trying to fill a niche, but 100%, the guy is
like straight
the guy is a cigar master. Absolutely.
He's crazy, man. He's awesome.
Good dude.
I didn't even try to start talking cigars with him because, well, I haven't had a cigar in probably a year, but when I did smoke cigars, my choice was like backwoods. So, I don't think gas station cigars are probably on his radar too.
Well, Chamber made sure to talk Philly blunts with him.
Absolutely.
As a real connoisseur.
Yeah, I definitely brought up backwoods Phillies. It's that's my cigar level. Bunchu had some real premium cigars he was talking about.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about them. I actually taught my fiance yesterday what the term retrohaling was that I learned from him last week. Chamber, do you remember?
Yeah, it's like a 35% inhale or something like that. Does that sound about right?
Yes, but then it's because you exhale it through your nose. So you inhale through the mouth and then you exhale through your nose. And that's how he's able to taste all of the different tobacco. That's how you know where it's from, all that kind of stuff, which is pretty interesting.
All that fancy tasting stuff is always, I'm just not refined enough, I guess, because, I like my whiskeys and I'm picky about my whiskey, but when somebody sits there and talks about all the different notes they can taste and all that stuff with wines and cheeses, and I can't.
Is there anything that you consume that you're like that about?
Yes, for me, it's beer.
Yeah,
I would say that. I guess. I mean, I still don't sit there and taste it and be like, oh my god, I taste this lovely thing and that thing I don't like. But I'm really picky about the type of beer I drink. I like good dark beer. I don't like this hipster IPA shit these days.
I actually I'm not a big beer guy. I just found out that IPA stood for India Pale Ale. Yeah. I've heard of IPAs.
What did you think it stood for?
I don't think I ever thought of it much. I've heard of both, and I've never actually associated the two. And I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now. And I'm not a big fan of them.
I could tell you why it's called that.
It's from India. Is my guess.
Well, kind of, sort of. So when they used to bring barrels of beer over from India, what they would do to keep it preserved was they would add way more hops because they thought the hops stood as a preservative.
Gotcha.
So
and
that's how the name India. Yes, that's why it's hoppy. Yes.
Yeah, it's a little too much for my little taste buds.
That's my certified beer expert coming out there.
That's right.
Learn something every day. Every day.
I was gonna say the one thing I'm picky about that I'm like, I'll throw shade on subpar brands is I don't know if it's all Canadians, but definitely maple syrup. Like if it's a shitty maple syrup, get that off of my table. I want the good stuff. I don't want any fake ass maple syrup. I want right from the tree.
Nothing about that statement surprises me.
I want a number 2 amber blend.
You know what I'm really picky about? Tim Hortons.
I keep trying to convince
I could tell you if this Tim Hortons was in Montreal, Quebec.
You guys are awesome.
It's true.
Oh my god!
I'm lucky enough to try it. Everybody talks about it, and I've just never gone to Canada.
It's not that great.
So, Chamber, have you ever tapped a tree?
I absolutely tapped a tree.
Wait, we don't use that term around here. Tap the tree. Come on now. You find a knot hole and tap the tree, or what? You're killing me.
No, I've absolutely tapped trees. I have a sugar bush right around the corner from me.
That's another one.
Are we still talking about maple syrup? I thought we were talking about maple syrup.
It's turning into that late night podcast already, and we're only.
No, I swear this is all above board. This is there's literally.
But you actually have?
Yeah. No, there's a sugar bushes are like where they make maple syrup, and there's literally one 5 minutes from my house.
That's great.
That's cool.
Yeah. I take my maple syrup seriously.
So let me ask you this: where do you see yourselves in the adoption movement?
Ooh, what does that mean?
Like, what do you see your guys' stance as far as helping to spread the adoption of cryptocurrencies? What do you guys do other than, like, say, your podcast?
I think doing the podcast is part of that, right?
So it's really not something that you've given any forethought to, or you just I think
I think we do it in a way. I think our goal is to talk crypto in a way that is easy to digest and fun, right?
Yes,
like,
yes.
This could be like, there's so many people out there that are far smarter about crypto and blockchain than we are.
But that doesn't necessarily mean they're any better. So yeah, okay.
Correct. But,
a different niche, I would say.
You could be really stuffy about this stuff. Like it's an easy thing to get bogged down in. It is tech. It is a complicated thing. It's tech, it's money, it's finance, it's complicated. Yeah. So I think if we can, if we could spread some fun and ease into the whole process while having great guests on that know their stuff. Like we've been really lucky to get some good guests that are very smart and far smarter than we are. And so, we take those people, we tap them for their knowledge like the trees, and then we have fun with them and get to know them a little that, maybe they don't show normally. And I think that's kind of our big goal for the podcast. And then, I try to personally, all my friends are fucking tired of me talking about Bitcoin, but they know me as like the crypto guy. Like I'm in my friends group, they know me as the crypto guy.
Same
so
here.
So if I can help them in any way, or answer questions or get them involved, and little by little, stuff like that, but that helps too, I think.
Fair enough.
Good point. I was gonna say, like, I got one person involved in crypto, and that was a effing nightmare. That was bad. And I was like, okay, I'm never talking to anybody about this again. I think Bunchu hit it on the head. Like when I first started getting into crypto, I listened to a ton of podcasts, and I mean shows like Crypto 101 was a show that I used to listen to early on. Very hot. I wouldn't say high level, but good. For people that are starting out in crypto, or trying to get a foot in, getting an appreciation for what's happening. But then guys like Ledger in Ledgercast with Josh. These guys are very smart. Obviously talking about trading most of the time. And we just thought, there were some podcasts, and there are some podcasts that maybe do something similar to what we do. I think personally we do it a lot better. But yeah, just
that ego.
It is. It's huge. It's massive. But yeah, I thought there was room for improvement in that area, like the fun podcast that was crypto, that was crypto related. But like my 57-year-old mom listens to, I think, every single episode, and she loves it. She has no clue what's happening. Yeah, yeah, she has no clue what's happening. I had my sister-in-law here a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about it, and she had messaged me. She's like, "Hey, I listened to the last episode. Like, you guys are really funny. It was entertaining. There was parts where I didn't know what you guys were talking about, but for the most part, 80% of it was very listenable for somebody that didn't even know anything about crypto. So I think we're the kind of the bridge to get people at least entertained, and then if they learn something and start to investigate, there's other podcasts that'll help them out with that.
I always say we're like the Howard Stern of crypto podcast.
Oh, that's perfect.
There you go.
That's perfect.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
Right.
We're like the Drew and Mike.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about the shoes?
Sure, go for it.
The shoes, Chamber, what was your opinion? We finally got the designs that the professor had done from us.
These shoes are insane. I showed a picture to my wife, and she's like, I'm like, we're just getting it. She's like, she wants a pair.
Oh my God, really? That's
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like, no, they're fantastic. I mean, the level of design, the look is through the roof. So I was super impressed.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you guys like them.
Yeah, so we're gonna buy a couple pairs. We need to figure that out, how to do it, and then we're going to give some away, and then I'm gonna wear some myself, obviously. And I might not even wear them. I might just like put them on a shelf in my office.
I think they're almost too nice to wear. Like they're nice. They're
art.
Hey, you know, I never said you couldn't buy 2 pairs apiece.
That's a good.
Well, no, and we probably will.
You know, you could always hang a pair from the mirror of your car.
Right.
Actually, there's a really nice electrical post outside that I'll just throw a pair over.
There you go.
That's what you got to do.
But yeah, so thank you for designing those for us. We're going to definitely buy a couple pairs, give some away, and figure out a way to spread the love there because they're pretty darn cool. You originally did the design for Yuki, is that right?
Yep. I didn't awesome. Do the artwork on it, like the actual drawing of their faces. Money Alata did that, but the whole shoe design itself, I put that together. But just that cartoon was drawn by Money.
Did you guys have him on the show?
We did.
We did.
I really like what he was doing with the. I don't know if he's still doing it with the like the movie billboards or the movie posters.
If My Life Were a Movie.
That's terrific.
I think John said something that they were going to do another run of them or something similar.
That's awesome. Have you seen those bunch?
No, I haven't.
They're pretty cool. I'm waiting for the REKT version.
We're waiting for our version too, but so far.
But he'll do like I've seen the John McAfee one, and there's a whole like he'll do all the celebrities and some sort of movie about their life kind of thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's cool.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you this, Bunchu. If YouTube has taught us one thing, it's that weird shit happens when you're least expecting it, and taxis are no exception. So, you want to tell us kind of what it's like to all of a sudden have to carry your Uber driver's eggs?
Oh, that's a deep cut. Oh my God, that's so funny. Well done. I was like, where's he going with this? So that story, gosh, where we were on the way to go out, and it was like the middle of the afternoon. It was on a Saturday, and we were going to go out and do some day drinking in Saratoga Springs, and we get in the car. The car's a little cramped, and my fiance and her friend are in the back seat, and I'm gonna get in the front seat, and the lady just hands me. She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't have I can't make enough room. Do you mind just holding these on your lap?" And she hands me just a carton of 12 eggs. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I held the eggs. I offered my fiance an egg in this trying time, as I'm wont to do from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And I had to hold my Uber driver's eggs. And it was actually, I got to tell you, a lot of pressure. I mean, if you've ever held somebody else's eggs in a high-speed car, you're just like, okay, just don't break them. I know they're only $2 worth of eggs, but it would be a nightmare. If they broke all over me, I would feel bad. I'd probably have to pay the Uber cleaning fee. It would have been terrible, but I had to hold my Uber driver's eggs.
So we'll see, just juggle these for me, will you?
Dude, it was so weird. I couldn't believe I was holding eggs in an Uber, but
so was there ever a conversation about the eggs, or did she just say, "Hey, hold this," and then you just guys started having a regular conversation? How did this?
So I made a joke. I made the Always Sunny joke to my fiance because I knew she was thinking it. So that was about as much as I addressed the eggs. And then I said to her, like, why do you have these eggs? And she's like, well, I just ran to the store between pickups. I didn't have a lot of time. I'm like, you make your own schedule. You have time. Why am I sitting with your egg?
Agreed.
So, yeah. But then we actually just had a really great conversation about everything else. Like, she was really awesome, except for the fact that I was holding eggs. And I'm like, this makes it weirder. I don't understand. And it was funny. Great deep cut tweet. Wow. I almost forgot about that.
So then we have one last thing for you guys before we wrap. It's kind of a two-part as well. So the first part of it is, what's your favorite sleeper token? And then the second part of it would be, do you have we're kind of copying this from you guys to a degree, as far as your gem token suggestion to put into the portfolio. You know, we're doing one of those every episode now, and we're just gonna like say throw $10 at a token that somebody recommends and see what happens.
Index. Yeah, that's awesome. So I'll let Chamber take the first part of that, or actually, Chamber, which part do you want to take? Because you're the shitcoin connoisseur here. So
I'm slowly becoming a Bitcoin maximalist, though.
No. Don't lie. You get back to your roots.
All right, let's see here. So the first part of the question is what's
one that we like as a sleeper?
I would say, I mean, I'll speak for myself. What do I like? I think we were talking about this before. I think if you're buying a token or a coin that's already had its, quote unquote bull run and is kind of flattened out, a lot of people will tell you to go that route. I think, Bunch and I both agree. I think it's new tokens that are coming out or that have just come out. That's the way to go. Like we've talked about on the show, we've had good success with Quant. I probably wouldn't recommend that one.
Yeah, we've done 1000x on Quant.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. There's some new ones. I was looking at Next Exchange token. That's NEXT. That one's pretty new. That one might be good. I'm just kind of scrolling through my shitcoin list here. CHX. That's OWN. That might be a good one. I don't know. It's tough to say. I actually have a big position in LTO network. That's fared out okay. Yeah, I don't know. Those are some ones that I have. I don't know if they're going to be good or not. I have.
Me.
Maybe counter trade me is maybe the best advice I could give.
I hold Bitcoin, I hold Ethereum, and then I only hold two other alts. And so one is our beloved Beaksy exchange token, which I think, if you look at how exchange tokens have done in the past, it doesn't have to be the next Binance to do very well. That's actually sitting right around ICO price right now, which is nice. So that one. And then the other one, I just love the project. I love what these guys are doing, which is Hero. So that's kind of it's basically a gamified trading in 5-minute increments, which is just so much fun and addicting. But I love what those guys are doing. And so I hold Beaksy, I hold Hero, and then I hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's basically it, aside from what's in our REKT index.
Right. We got a lot in there too. And shout out to Godson. You should probably pick up a bag of mainframe MFT. I mean, I've gotten wrecked on that one a couple of times, but it's pretty dirt cheap right now. It's like 18 sats. We were talking about, I think Godson was talking about bargain price at like 90 sats. So yeah, there's a lot of upside to that one.
What about you guys? What are your favorites?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as my favorite token, there's so many of them. I'm a shitcoin
guru.
No, far from guru. Collector, hoarder.
Collector.
Yeah, that's basically, I'm with you. I'm a collector.
Yeah, I'll grab like 20 of this one or 50 of that one or 200 of this one because I feel really super excited about it. And I just throw them away in a bag and see what happens. But right now, I really like some of the microtransaction focused tokens along with privacy coins. So BAT is one of the big ones for me right now. BAT, BTT also, another microtransaction focused token. XMR I think is going to do really well this year.
I agree. I agree with XMR.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of really, really massive explosions this year. A lot of people aren't expecting it because there were already so many, and they think there's this assumption that it's not going to happen again. But I think it is. It's just going to be more isolated to a smaller amount of tokens that are actually doing something and being used. There's still going to be some of that hype-based explosions for sure.
Well, if you think about what it was like after Bitcoin hit 20K, and then
it was a shitstorm.
It was crazy, and then ICOs and all the shitcoins were just flying. imagine what happens. I mean, a lot of people are talking in the next Bitcoin bull run, 60 to 100K is probably a realistic number.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen when that happens? You know what I mean? What happens to the altcoins then? Like, it'll just be it'll be insanity.
We're going to pay the IRS a shit ton of money.
The interesting thing will be to see if, obviously, if Bitcoin goes to 60 or 100K, the USD prices of these altcoins will follow suit just because it's a ratio, right?
Right.
But what's going to happen to the Bitcoin price of these coins? Will you see all-time lows? Will you see them gain traction against Bitcoin? I think that's going to be interesting to watch.
I think you'll see once, if it hits 60 or 100K and the pullback happens to 30K or whatever it is, like we just saw.
3K?
Yeah, well, maybe not 3K, but maybe the pullback's 15K. You know what I mean? If it gets to 100,000,
I see that easily.
You know what I mean? Like maybe it's 15K.
It might even be 20 because some of these moves have been 20 and 30%.
Right. So I mean, who knows? I think you could see the BTC pairing on some of these alts be pretty lucrative, depending on how big that pump is on BTC and how big the throwback is. So I don't know. Who knows? I just know that it was insane when it hit 20, and we've been floating around at, we've touched, I think, 14 this year.
Yeah.
And nothing's really happened. So, imagine it's gonna need to be crazy for, I think, alts to take off again, which I think it's gonna happen.
It's going to happen definitely after the fact. There's going to be, like you say, it's all about timing always. So you're going to have that initial Bitcoin run, and it's going to go crazy. It's going to take off, and it's going to spike out of nowhere. It's going to be like when it went to 20,000, right? It's going to go parabolic, and when that happens, the alts are going to tank in BTC value, even if their USD value is going up. Just because all that money, Bitcoin's flying, people are dumping their shit coins, buying into Bitcoin so they can catch that pump, and then when it turns back around, it's going to be monumental.
Well, especially like you said, like things like XMR, Ethereum, especially those big ones are going to have some huge numbers, I think.
Exactly. We're talking like Bitcoin's peak, but for some of these altcoins now.
So I agree as far as my tokens go. As far as BAT is probably my, other than Bitcoin, is probably the main one that I'm actually still in profit on during this entire slump. So I'm gonna stick with BAT as far as my favorite hold at this point. However, as far as potential, I'm still a hardcore believer in Litecoin. I think XMR is going to be, put it this way, if you walk into a buffet, right, and you look at the options on the buffet table, you might very well be looking at my fucking portfolio, because there is a wide array of options and, varying amounts of all. So I think you roll the dice and you might be lucky to hit one. But no, seriously, I pretty well diversified. So I'm pretty confident that anybody in this market right now that holds crypto at any of the prices that we've seen, whether it be from 2017 or before or this year, whatever, I think we're all sitting on a quite substantial amount of money in the long run. So, to look at it short term isn't necessarily a fair assessment of the potential that we see in front of us and the potential that we have sitting in our own portfolios, which a lot of us might think, I don't have a whole lot in there. But you know what? You'll be surprised, I think.
That would be hot.
Oh yeah. It's going to be amazing. We'll see what happens. Like I said, time will tell, but we're early. We're early. This is just the beginning. So
absolutely. We are very early.
It's been amazing having you on the show. We're definitely going to have to do this again.
Yeah, for sure. That was fun.
Yes. Great time. Oh my God.
Of your guys' tweets.
I can't wait to listen to this actually. Because you guys know, right? As soon as you get done with a podcast, when you release it, you have to listen to it again because you missed so much of it while you were doing it.
Chamber listens to our shows. Let's go back to Chamber's ego.
The spotlight. No, come on.
Chamber listens to our shows 6 times each, I think.
Well, it's definitely at least 3 times.
But that's technical review. Come on.
I mute out everybody's voice. Well, what I do is when I edit, I'll make obviously the podcast edits, but then I edit out everybody else's voice for a separate track. And I keep a cache of those, and it's just my voice.
Oh my God. And you play that in your head at night. That's
exactly,
awesome. Subliminal greatness. I love it. Subliminal greatness.
That's a good hashtag right there.
There we go.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Greatness.
Oh my God. Okay, guys, this has been absolutely incredible. Seriously though, Bunchu, you're in Pennsylvania, bro. You got no reason you can't go to St. Louis. Come on. The 17th
That's
of
true.
August. It's going to be historic. Check it out on Twitter. I'm all over that shit. I know Bitcoin Ben's all over it. The Litecoin family, a lot of people that follow me are all over this meetup. This will be the first meetup that the professor and I actually get to go to and be a part, a unit of the podcast. So I'm looking forward to actually meeting him face to face. And if you can swing it, bro, oh my God, your energy.
It sounds fun. It sounds fun. I'm always down for a party. So,
and it will definitely be a party. Matter of fact, I'll extend this invitation to you, sir. You're only 2 hours from me. I'm driving on Thursday, and I'm going down to my friend Clint Westwood's place. Okay. Well, yeah, that would be Chambers. Sorry. Pennsylvania, you're 5 hours away. So let me rephrase that. You're 5 hours away. I've done a lot of work in Pennsylvania on the stadium there, so I know how far away you are. But if you want to meet me in Detroit area and ride together, I'm all about that shit too. So I'll extend that invitation to you. It's going to be a great time, and the more positive influencers we can get there, the better off it's going to be. And it's just, I promise, a fabulous time. It's going to be sick.
There's a chance I'll actually be in Chicago that weekend. So if that's the case, it's right there. I would come.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that would be sick.
If you are, do it. Even if you just show up for a day and say hi. So
yeah, that would be awesome. So
Sweet.
That being said, guys, have a great evening, man. Thanks again for coming on the show. This has been insanely fun. This has got to be one of our most fun podcasts. We've had some great podcasts, but this one's been pretty fun. I gotta say.
That's flattering. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
We appreciate you having us.
Likewise, man. It's been a good time, both of you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much again for coming on the show, guys.
No problem, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Man, that was an amazing episode.
Oh my God.
Rough morning with some technical problems. We had to reschedule, and I'm so glad we did, because that turned out to be an amazing episode. I had a lot of fun.
Oh my God, right? And actually, the technical issues we had forced us to find a solution, which I think we found. So
I think
that's
so.
even better.
And the funny part is this was suggested to us, and we were, we'd been kind of thinking about it, but there were some issues that we had seen that had been rectified in a recent release, and so it works now. So hell yes, we are up running on some fresh software, and we're gonna have a bunch more podcasts out for you here shortly. So yeah, man,
right.
I'm excited.
Okay, so I gotta know. Let's kind of. We've already spilled the. How do I want to say it? The announcement of the merch store, right? We've already let everybody know. So we're talking sometime in August. Are we talking sometime in September?
Nah, early August, early to mid August at the latest.
Okay, cool. So guys, keep your eye out for the merch store. Keep your eye out for our releases on that. That I think is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it because I want to buy some shit myself.
I gotta get some crypto campfire swag going. Like I'm sending stuff out, and I hardly even have anything for myself. So it's about time.
I know, right? Yeah. I got a hat and a T-shirt. I'm gonna bring your T-shirt to St. Louis.
Sweet.
The one that I have from you. So
nice. And guys, if you have any requests of anything you want in the merch store that you want to be available, let us know in case we don't have it on our radar yet. We'll try and get that in there if you've got anything specific you're looking for. So
heck yeah. This is exciting.
Man, it's like we got the website coming. We've got St. Louis coming up. We have some really cool podcasts on the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
We've got CIS coming up in October.
Not to mention the Midwest Adoption Team meetups that we're going to have between August and October.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's great. We're having an amazing time. We're loving talking to you guys. The community has been the backbone of this whole thing. That's what it's about, is talking to you guys, getting your stories, figuring out how you got into crypto, what made you do what it is that you're doing, what inspires you. Like, everybody's got a unique story and we want to hear all of them. So if you want to come on the show, like we always say, let us know. Drop us a line on Twitter. Just say you want to come on the show. I don't care who you are, as long as you're going to come on here and be positive and talk about crypto or whatever you want to talk about. Let's just
Absolutely. I'm all down with that. Look forward to it, actually. And I think that's it for tonight. You guys, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we look forward to your feedback as always. And I can't wait for the next one. So on that note, you guys have yourselves a great evening. If you think about it, throw a tip log on the Crypto Campfire. If not, your positive comments help just the same. So have a great evening, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy.
Peace.